My charger.
Too late, bro. We're live, man. What are you doing?
Are we really?
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, we're
Oh
live.
shit.
We are on fucking YouTube right now. Up, up, up. Okay.
Oh,
It's fine though. It's
you all
fine.
ready? You all
I'm
set?
only gonna share this when we start actually doing it. So
All right.
it's all good. So let's have Seth bring us in.
All right. Welcome to Seth Harp and the podcast. I'm your host, Seth Harp, with my co-hosts, Zachary Westcott.
I think that I should still be the co-host. Logan's a special guest. That's
Okay.
bullshit.
Okay.
You just demoted me.
Sorry. My co-host,
Sorry for that.
Zachary Westcott,
Hey.
and our special guest joining us once again, Logan Hendricks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Do we have a good show today, Seth? Are we gonna have a good show today?
Yeah, we're gonna have a good show.
Do we have a good show for the audience?
I think so.
Usually we do.
Usually we do. I'm feeling good about this one.
All
I've
right.
had trouble in the past, and you're like, I'm not too sure about the show right now.
This might not be worth your time.
Might just want to exit out right now.
Yeah.
We're a topic-based podcast. We got a couple topics to cover today. We all each bring one to the table. But first, we'll start off with our first segment. What have you been listening to?
Guest
Logan,
starts. Yeah, guest starts.
All right.
Yes,
All right. I feel like I'm in your home. Like, you know how, like, when you're always at friends' houses, like when you're a kid, and you're like, no, the guest eats first. You know what I'm talking about? No.
I think that's dumb, but I agree that it happens, and
Okay.
I'm happy you feel that way.
All right. Well, thanks. Anyway, I'm kind of in, lately I've been doing like a little revival on country for myself. A little country and bluegrass.
Nice.
Little What's that?
I was gonna say country in the winter, but I'm like, wait, you're in Florida right now,
Yeah,
so it
it
is
is
not
heavy.
winter. It is perpetual summer.
Yeah, so I just I don't know. I just started getting into it. I don't know, maybe a week and a half ago. Not like it's just I'm starting to get back into listening to it. Not like I've just started listening to it for the first time or anything, but just really been into like that nitty gritty. I don't know, dobro resonator and banjo. Just really digging it.
So older country. You're not listening to Sam
No,
Hunt or
I'm not listening to today's Sam Hunt or anything like that. I'm listening to like Randy Travis and some of those
hell yeah.
older guys, early '90s, early 2000s as well. Late '80s, early '90s. So
But
Randy Travis.
but
Hell yeah.
but for real though, Sam Hunt's not that bad. So you don't say that. You don't say that about him.
I just don't get into the spoken word. That is just me. That is just me.
Okay, if you want to launch off into country music topic, we can fucking go there, but I have a feeling we shouldn't.
No, it's not.
You to say
We should probably stay on track this time.
Zach, please don't start a shitstorm.
Storm, I know, brother.
So you've been listening to some country, Logan, huh?
Yes, sir. Like I said, country, bluesgrass. Actually, C6 Steve. Been getting back in a little bit of C6 Steve. Anything with slide, a dirty slide,
A dirty, twangy slide.
Yes. Yep. Anything that makes it sound like it grew up in like the heart of Tennessee, way up in the mountains where it belongs, and not in the city.
Yeah.
That kind of
Where
slide.
it belongs.
All right, cool. What about you? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was gonna say actually like one of the like almost like the epitome of what I've been listening to is like the theme song to Hell on Wheels, the show on AMC.
Mm-hmm.
Man, isn't that canceled?
It might be. I don't know. But the theme song.
Yes,
the
I
theme
do.
song is forever, Zach.
Yes, I do know that.
Anyway, it's stuff like that. That's what I'm about right now.
Cool.
Good.
about you,
Is that
Zach?
it? That can't be it. No. Logan Hendricks
That
does
can't
not
be it?
just listen to country. He's listening to other stuff too.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm always in my reggae phase. If it's the right time of day and I've got the right scenery around me, I'm like, I'm feeling like some Slightly Stoopid.
Good. I like Slightly Stupid. They're good shit.
If I'm city cruising at night around St. Pete or Tampa, it's
At 2 a.m.
jazz hop. That's what's so.
Okay, my turn. Um, what have I been listening to? Goddamn. I've actually been listening to a lot of podcasts recently, so it hasn't been a really big music week. But I did just renew my gym membership, so I guess I can talk about when I lift what I'm listening to.
Go
Recently I've been
for it.
going back to my like hard rock alternative. So I start off every lift with Royal Blood's Out of the Black because it's a fucking great way to start lifting heavy things.
Mhm.
Then I move into some Bring Me the Horizon. Logan, do you know who they are?
Yeah, I've seen shirts with that name on it.
Yeah, I've seen shirts. Anyway, okay, yeah, okay. It
Yeah, I
just
have a general idea
dumb,
of what the kind of music that is. Yeah.
dumb hard rock shit. Not necessarily great music, but stuff that when you listen to it, it's just like fucking guitar. It makes you feel pumped
Yeah.
up, like
Well,
Chevelle or for me,
instrumentally, it's just like yes.
yeah, for me, Breaking Benjamin. Say what you will about that band, they get me fucking ready to pick things up and put them down. So I'm all about that. But on a more serious note, I've been listening to a couple new albums that drop. Well, some new stuff that has been dropping the past couple weeks, and then a new surprise album. And I love surprise albums. So the past like several Fridays in a row, like it feels like actually for maybe like a month or two now, G-Eazy has been dropping new tracks like every Friday. No idea why. I haven't heard that he has an album coming out, but he apparently does. And so he's just been dropping track after track, and it's like super good because as I've been listening to them, like each one sounds very different. So he's been doing like the first couple were like very much if you listen to G-Eazy, it was very familiar, but then he like did a song with Chris Brown and you're like, "Whoa, this is weird." It's like worlds colliding, underground rap and mainstream coming together in this weird way. It's pretty good. Chris Brown's all right. And then the last one he put out is like super Logan, you'd really like it. It's like super jazzy. It's like an East Coast, it's like a 90s East Coast production.
All right. All right.
So I was like, "Damn, this is fucking awesome." Like, yeah. So I've been listening to that and then sort of a underground uh I guess like alternative pop album, like surprise album came out from this artist called Black Bear. So came out of nowhere this past Friday, and I was like super happy because he actually already put an album out this year, back in like I think February or March. So it's always good to have like one of your favorite artists put out two albums in 1 year. Pretty awesome. But yeah, that's
Cool.
been about it.
Cool. Well, for me, see, the beauty of this show is that since you, Zach, well, both of you guys have such diverse tastes in music, and in podcasting with you, Zach, every couple of weeks, I've been exposed to a lot more shit than I'd ever really ever think to listen to. I
Hell yeah.
there's genres and things that I didn't ever you usually wouldn't catch me
Mhm.
listening to. Um, I think in the past month I've listened to more EDM and hip hop and everything under that umbrella than I ever have.
It's
Um,
working. I'm slowly changing you.
um, so for me, I know I'm a couple months late on this, but I got around to that new Weekend album. Um,
Yeah, that's a couple months old, but okay.
um, and
Give me a 2 cents review. What do you think about it?
I can see what the hype's about. I really like. I mean, I've of course for me the ones that really hit me are like all the radio friendly, or his big hits off it, like "Can't Feel My Face" and "The
Yeah,
Hills."
the weekend is
Um,
like highbrow pop music, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like
mhm.
you have to really be refined to understand where he's coming from when he sings about having sex with you. You know, like I just feel like when people listen to The Weeknd, you know, it doesn't feel like pop music like something like Taylor Swift does, right? It feels like sort of it's kind of like the dark, moody version. It's like the gritty,
I was gonna say
like gritty pop,
yeah,
you know?
it's got. I was gonna say it does have a moodier vibe to it, especially. I think the one I really like "Can't Feel My Face" because it's kind of
Hell
got
yeah,
that.
dude.
It's got like a really cool Michael Jackson feel to it. But I
I think
really
so
like the
too, and it's
Hills.
awesome. Yeah, The Hills is good shit too.
I love the chorus on the Hills. It's just like, oh man, it's good stuff. So I have
It's yeah, it's good.
so I've been listening to The Weeknd, but I've also been I know like a lot of music sites like Rolling Stone and stuff. They're already putting out their albums of the year, so I'm kind of revisiting stuff a little bit. The like stuff like The Weeknd, like stuff I never got around to listening to over the course of the year. And what I will say is I don't like that they're doing the top 50 albums on December 1st when there's still like several albums to come in like the next few weeks. Like
I
it should
guess, but like, what
be
are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? You kind of have to. At some point, you sort of have to because I bet you they have so much shit going on. That I think of just the man hours it takes to put something like that together, and
yeah,
to be
and I
like,
mean
we're not gonna put it together until December 21st because we need to make sure we get every album that, that came this year in. But it's like
right, and
that's
then I
that'd be
mean
shitty. That'd be like the
and
worst couple days ever.
and then you've also got to account for like albums that are going to be dropping in 2016 and building up lists for what's highly anticipated. But yeah, I mean, revisiting a few things. Um, I've been still on this kick of a band I think I mentioned before called Nothing But Thieves.
Yes,
They're
yeah, we talked about them.
they they released their album like in the UK and in Europe back in October, but it's for some reason the US release is delayed till February. But like they're slowly like
What?
dropping one track after another on Spotify, and so I'm as they come up, I'm listening to them and I'm liking what I'm hearing.
Do you know
Um,
why they would delay the U.S. release like 4 months? That seems
I don't know. It's stupid.
that doesn't make any sense.
Even though I could go on their website right now and buy their CD, and I think I could get it right now instead of waiting till February. But
It just seems so
Spotify,
silly in today's day and age when everything's available online for free.
I was gonna say like you could
right?
just go to like you could go pirate it. Like you could just go get it. Like I mean, that's weird. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
you do a simultaneous release? That's strange. But whatever,
Yeah,
you know, what you
whatever.
gotta do.
Um, so yeah, I'm just revisiting a lot of the albums that came out. Like I even actually gave a listen to um, an artist called D'Angelo. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah, okay,
he
yeah.
dropped his album like way back, like back in I think he actually dropped it in December of last year, but they put it on this album of the year list for this year.
Hmm. See, they
Um,
catch them. They catch all the December releases, Seth. Don't worry.
You'll just
They
see it
just get
next.
them. They just get them at December of next year.
yeah. Um, which I guess so. I guess this was like his first album that he's dropped in like almost 15 years, and it
Yes.
was just like a surprise release. So um, I don't know. I gave a few tracks a listen. Uh, they're all right.
They're
But
all right.
It must have been
I know like Rolling Stone has his album like ranked fourth of the top 50 albums of this year, and I'm like,
Well,
yeah, they're all right.
that's why music is so weird, man. Like Seth, you and I are sort of talking about doing album of like a sort of album of the year type thing, but like how do you pick? How do you like especially for us it's just between two people. But think
right.
about something like Rolling Stone who has like how many editors weighing in? Like that'd be
It's like
impossible.
it's like a packet.
Across so many different genres.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just hard to judge it. I mean, I guess there probably is some sort of scale, but like how do you fucking even know what it is? I've
What are the criteria? What is the criteria? If there's a
Yeah,
shot.
like the only thing I can relate to, I was telling Seth earlier about like a lot of video game websites do sort of like game of the year stuff. that's even though video games can be very subjective, they're also objective in very specific ways. Like, does the game run? Is it fucking like? Is it hard? Is it like? Does it have stupid controls? Like, does the online not work? So that kind of stuff can like weigh against it. But like with music, it's like if it comes out of the speaker, it's qualifies. It's a qualifier. So I don't know. That's like I don't know. Like if for some reason you bought an album and like half the tracks didn't work or skipped around,
That's its only
and it was
criteria.
and it was unintentional somehow, then yeah. But that's just not a thing that happens with music. So I have no fucking
Right.
idea.
Right. As we've said many times, art is subjective.
It sure is.
So
Seth Arpin, the podcast is a topic-based podcast, and
it is.
we have some topics to talk about. Well, I don't. I kind of have one. Seth might have one. I know Logan for sure has one, which is why he gets to start.
I get to start.
You get to
'cause
start.
You're,
What do you want to talk?
you're
What do you want to talk about, sir?
Well, Seth startled me because I forgot about topics earlier today, and I was like, oh god. And I just happened to be doing something with music earlier today after I got off of work. And so what I was doing was, and it's going to sound very cliche, I was trying, and I wanted to do this for a long time, and I've been delaying and you'll understand why. I've been trying to put together like my top 25 favorite songs thus far in my life.
Good fucking luck.
Absolutely, right?
I thought, okay, if you would have said like 5, I would have been like, okay.
See,
But 25? Holy shit.
I find it harder to narrow it down to even just 5 because I'm like, well, I kind of like this song. So, you know, and I had suggested, or I had mentioned to Seth earlier today, I said, I want to talk about this. He's like, well, maybe if we narrow, all of ours down to like, the top 5 songs. I was like, no, I don't really want to talk about our top 5 favorite songs because that's so lame. Like, anybody can talk about that all day long. I mean, that conversation could go on forever. But I want to talk about, and what I'm curious for you guys is, I know Seth's put together his top 25, because I think you did it via Tumblr, right? Seth, or top 50, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I want to talk about what is your guys' method for picking out, like what we were talking about earlier, criteria. What's your method for picking these out? Because I'm curious. I've got my top 5 assembled, and then I've got like this jumble of songs on a Word document where I'm just like, I have no clue how to rate these and place these.
I was deathly afraid you were going to ask us what our top 5 favorite songs of our life are. I was like, that's too heavy for an hour podcast.
No, absolutely not. That's like, obviously I know the dangers of treading that water, so stay away from that.
Do you want us to go, or do you want to try and explain your method?
I think he should go first.
So what I was trying to attack it was, like, the way I was trying to attack it was, okay, what for my top 5 was, okay, I think these are my favorite songs lyrically and musically, instrumentally. Like, I just really like these songs for lyrics. They're powerful lyrics. But I can't really say that. See, and that's where I started. I was like, well, are they really powerful lyrics? Because my number 1 song is Down Under by Men at Work.
That's number 1.
That is my number 1 song.
Okay, you're going to have to take me through that.
Why it's my number 1 song?
Yes, I'm going to need a fucking
And
full
so this is where it threw me for a loop, because I honestly think it's because they threw a jazz flute.
That seems like a weak reason.
It really is, though. I don't know why. I think it's more or less the instrumentals that really make and break it for me.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like there's something about instrumentals that move you. That
I am more biased towards instrumentals of the song. Like, if I don't, like in a rap song, if I don't like the instrumentals, I'm probably not going to listen to the song. I will give it a chance if people say you really need to listen to the song. But if the lyrics really don't resonate with me, and I don't like the instrumentals, I'm not going to listen to that song.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that seems kind of stupid, but that's just me.
No, I mean, well, like we said, it's subjective, because I mean, I mean, for you and I, Logan, us both being musicians, I think like the instrumentals can really weigh in a lot of in our opinion of a song because it's like, oh man, I really love the drums in this, or I really love the bass line that goes in this song, or something like that. There's certain songs that when you like, you know it when you hear like that when the instrumental, you're like, oh man, they nailed that, and
Yeah.
it's like,
And sometimes it's just like one chord, like in the middle of the song, you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna rewind just to hear that
yeah,
chord again.
yeah. Um, I can think of a specific example. Um, I'm sure Zach's familiar with the song too. The song "If I Ever Get Around to Living" by John Mayer.
Yes.
There's
Yep.
there's like a little part in that song where he transitions, and there's just like this little guitar lick that like just flutters, and like you and I, Logan, both when we hear it, we're like, ah, yes. There's like there's just something about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, but continue or
Well, I'm
So,
gonna jump in here.
man,
I'm gonna jump in. That's a very interesting song to pick as your number one favorite song. That's obviously that's fine. I don't care. Good. That's great. I do think that's a good song. Personally, I don't think it. I don't care about it that much. But I think a factor that goes into this that I think that would probably eventually have said is I think timelessness of a song. That no matter when you listen to it, you can enjoy it. And so, say you listened to it 10 years ago, enjoyed the fuck out of it. 10 years later, you enjoy it that same way.
absolutely.
Or like for you it's instrumental, so like when you hear it, it probably brings you back to specific moments, or it just gives you a certain emotion. That's how I feel. Like that's for me, that's what lyrics could do. I think a lot of times I don't know if it's my number one, but one of my favorite songs of all times is Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. I think first the instrumentation of that song is fucking incredible, and like those drums are just fucking magical. But also the lyrics are incredibly relatable for a song that came out in like the 70s and is still just as relatable now as it was almost 40 years ago, like 40 years ago. I
Right.
think that is fucking incredible. And that's
You know
why I
what?
think that song is one of my favorite songs of all time. For
I
that
had,
reason.
and that's why I'm glad I brought this topic up because I hadn't thought of timelessness yet. That wasn't because I just really started pondering this today. And to be honest, when I was picking my top five, I was kind of going through. I had already had a kind of an idea. Um, and the other thing is though is I was like, all right, for my top five, do I have to have a variety? Am I going to seem stupid if I have more of one genre than something else? Am I going to seem, for me, as a not necessarily a music guru, but someone who's very well versed in music, is it going to seem
Mhm.
very stupid for me to have one genre lodged in my top five?
Well, it doesn't matter. Like
even
honestly, if your top five favorite songs of all time are all metal songs, it doesn't matter. It's your top five favorite songs of
Right.
all time. It's
yeah,
not. It's not like general public's top five songs of all time. You know,
Right.
right.
it's Logan Hendrix's like top five songs of all time. If they're all fucking metal, then they should all be metal.
Right. My only problem is that my musical interests change frequently. I'll get tired of one genre and I need to flip to another genre
But
that
that's how
I've
this is
experienced
this
before.
comes back into play because I think that's a part of it. I think I agree with you. I also tend to flip genre to genre, like different seasons I'm into certain things, like certain types of music I will only listen to in specific seasons. But as the seasons pass, there are always songs I come back to, even if it's super out of place. That's how I know a song is one of my favorites. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Right. So
Like
it's kind of like jazz hop for you, deep winter time.
yeah, like for me, country is a summer genre, and like jazz hop is more of a winter genre. But if it's dead of winter and I want to listen to Alan Jackson's "It's 5 O'clock Somewhere" featuring Jimmy Buffett, because that's one of the fucking best songs ever made, I will fucking listen to it because it's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Absolutely. All right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
timelessness. I think that's a huge factor.
what I think it's really cool is that to go to go along with that is that there's songs that like were brand new to the radio when our parents were our age or younger, and to be able to listen to one of those songs um, and to be able to enjoy it the same way. Like one that comes to mind. This isn't a top 5 necessarily. It's close. Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Because like my mom and dad said both, like that was theirs like senior prom. There's like junior prom theme song, or like that was like the theme to their prom was Stairway to Heaven. Because
Dude, that was
the song,
everyone's fucking prom theme song when that came out. Way to be original.
Well, but I think it's cool that even though that song, because I think I first heard the song. I remember actually sitting down and like taking the time to listen to it. First hearing that song back in high school, and I'm like, it's like this it was just released when my parents were my age. I was like the fact that you're able to enjoy in the same capacity is really cool. I think that it's like that song is whatever 40, 50 years old, and
Would you
it's
describe it as timeless? Is that a good
Stairway to
descriptor
Heaven.
for it? Yeah.
Stairway to Heaven's
Timeless,
timeless.
See?
It is timeless.
See?
All right.
Timeless.
So Zach, you brought up the instrumental dimension of timelessness to a song. And I appreciate that because now I go, okay, that's just one more aspect I can add that I didn't realize that I was adding, but now you have materialized it for me, as a concept. So, but I'm glad you brought that to the table, timelessness. But I'm also kind of curious, in your tops, what is so Zach, you said what was one of your tops? Oh,
Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just kind of curious, what are your guys' tops at this point? I mean, we covered criteria a little bit.
Now you are asking us what our favorite songs of all time are. This went from.
we gotta cover the cliche a little bit. I'm not asking you for definitive numbers here.
Okay. Yeah, this is if I throw any out, it is not in any sort of numbered order. It is just songs that I can think of that I fucking love so much that I'd put them on a list if I had to make one. So I gave one.
Yep.
Seth, you give one. Did you use your Stairway to Heaven? Is that what you were saying?
No. The first and foremost one I can think of, and I've talked about this, covered this in blog posts all over the fucking place.
Well, you're gonna talk about it again right now.
I'm gonna talk about it again because I fucking love it song, and it's one of the greatest songs of all time in my opinion. Ball and Biscuit by White Stripes, because it was a
pretty timeless song.
Because for me the song was, I would call it like a definitive life-changing moment when I heard this song, because I mean that I attribute that song to it's one of the reasons I picked up a guitar, which is like one of the biggest things about my identity. And
dude, that opening riff is so famous, I guess would be a good word. Like, it's so fucking famous. That's like, it's been used in how many fucking trailers? It's just like it's so good. I love it so much.
Yeah, I think that's one of the other things. It's like that, like it's a song that I attribute to one of a big pivotal point in my life. It was like I listened to that song and I was like, holy shit, I need to learn how to play the guitar because I want to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
The nostalgia.
Okay. All right, Logan, let's go back around to you.
For my top,
throwing them out. Well, just give me one. We'll each do like 3.
Okay, all right.
We'll each do 3.
Well, so my number 1 was Men at Work. My number 2 is Old Country, late '80s, John Anderson, Seminole Wind.
I do not know that song.
So take a look. It's actually going to be one of my suggestions later.
Okay.
Older song. It's about Florida, actually, and I remember my dad listening to it when I was younger. Had no clue what the song was about. And to be honest, I rediscovered it down here. And I was talking to my dad about it. He's like, yeah, I used to play that all the time when you were younger. And I was like, oh, okay. And because it seemed familiar when I had first heard it. And this was back when I lived up. I heard it again this past, would have been February or March. That's back when I lived up the swamp near Gainesville. And that's exactly what the song is talking about, man. The swamp, the good old Seminole days.
Cool, dude.
So,
I don't know. Classic country is fucking awesome. So I
yeah.
totally
And
am
there's,
in with a decision to have one of those on your top list.
I mean, it's classic country, not honky tonk air by any means, but I mean, it's got some good piano. It's got some like violin.
It's got
Good
some
old
violin.
country. John Anderson wrote himself the lyrics
Good.
himself. So
Good. Okay. So I would say another big factor that goes into a song that you would call your favorite is nostalgia. Whether nostalgia is good or bad is a different kind of discussion. But for me, there are just certain songs that when I don't necessarily listen to them all the time, but when I do, I just like, man, it just fucking brings you back to like a specific moment. And there are a couple songs that do that for me, but one of my favorites is Your Hand in Mine by Explosions in the Sky. It is a post-rock group out of Texas. Has anyone here seen the movie Friday Night Lights?
yep.
Mm-hmm.
They did the soundtrack. That song is in that movie. And it's just, they're like, it's just so good. It's like 8 minutes of this sort of slow build to this like awesome crescendo, and then it just like kind of fades out. It's really good, and I love music like that. Like Explosion in the Sky, that song's in specific is one of my favorites, but that song introduced me to an entire genre of music that I didn't know existed.
So what's the nostalgic value behind that then for you?
It takes me back to like, let's see, what year was this? Pushing 10 years, like maybe 2007, 2008 when I first heard it, and just like that time, like, so I was sophomore in high school, like Logan, you were a junior, like we were just becoming friends, and just like going through like sophomore year of high school girl problems, and like hearing this kind of song and just having it strike me as like this like emotional like ballad, but it's instrumental and it's so fucking awesome and loud and expansive. Like I didn't ever think of music as expansive before, so that definitely makes it like stick out in my mind.
Sweet.
All right.
All right. So my second one, I don't think a list would be complete without it. Um, it's a Foo Fighters song, but it's not one of like the big hits. Like everyone would like immediately think like Everlong or My Hero. My personal favorite Foo Fighters song ever would have to be The Pretender. This is one that's pretty much solely based on the instrumentals of it, and just because of the way I love the way the song builds, because it's just this eerie guitar intro, and then you just got the drums that like just hard hitting, and then it just builds up and like it just unleashes at the chorus. It's I love the song because of the way it's arranged. It's just an incredible build. And then their bridge or whatever solo you want to call it, when it just like drops back down to guitar for a little bit, and it like ramps up again, and then there's just like this furious fight to the finish. It's I just love the song, and just in terms of the way it was all arranged, and like I like the lyrics of it all. I mean, like I don't know, the lyrics are great, but it's more so the way they arranged the song, because it was just I don't know, it's just like the exactly in my mind like the perfect song.
And that's why I think talking about music subjectively is so cool, because for you that is one of your favorite songs of all time. You just had so many good things to say about it. But I kind of think that's a weak Foo Fighters song.
Right. I mean it's on their it's a hit, but it's not like, to most people, no one would, if you ever asked anyone's favorite Foo Fighters song, it's probably going to be something off Color in the Shape or their self-titled album.
Yeah, that's why I love talking about music, because it's different for everybody. Everybody has different tastes. No matter how similar you think you are to someone, there's somewhere where you branch off and you're different. Like it's just that's how everybody is. That's fucking awesome. That's why it's so interesting to talk about. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Life's
I
based
I, I,
on.
I say two's enough. I think two's enough.
Yeah, two's good.
Two's good. So to get back to the fucking beginning, how do we pick our favorite songs? Timelessness, and I think that's the only thing we agreed upon.
Well, I agree upon nostalgic value as well.
Nostalgic value. Nostalgic value. Two things. That's all you
Yeah.
need.
Instrumentals. I just heard Seth confirm instrumentals.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Okay, cool, cool.
Yep.
All right, well let's do a little moving on.
Yeah.
Seth, I have one. I thought of one, and I want to go next. So I'm gonna butt in if you were gonna go. And it's
Yeah, go
this is
for it.
kind
Go
of
for it.
this is good because Logan's here. We need Logan here for this topic. So
Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Logan, you are a substitute teacher. Yes, you went to college
I-
to become a history teacher.
Yes, right now I'm a co-teacher.
Okay, right now you're a co-teacher with passions and dreams and hopes of being a history teacher of some sort. I want to talk to you about how you think the classroom will look in like the next 10 years, specifically when it comes to music. So when you're in high school, you have to sit through a fucking class and it's boring as shit. And then you can go off and like you don't do in high school you can do homework in class. You have projects that you work on in class. But in college, you just go to the class, listen to a lecture, then you leave, and you can do everything else on your own. So I think that the latter is obviously the better way to do it because some people just study or do homework in specific ways, and by that I mean they listen to music. So what do you think about, do you want to see a classroom in 10 years be, okay, so you come to the class, I do a lecture for 30 minutes, but then we do homework, but then, like, you're allowed to just fucking listen to music, and it's just okay? Because right now it's not okay, is it?
Right now there is this divide. You have very conservative older teachers who are used to the way they're used to doing things, which means no phones. And I'm
Okay.
not going to listen. Some will listen to music, but it's their taste. Then you have younger generation teachers like myself who say, "Have your fucking phone out. I don't care. You can listen to music if you're working. I mean, as long as you're not like, consumed by Snapchat. I mean, shit. We were working on a project today. Some of the kids in the world history classroom, and most of them had their headphones in, and I don't care. I don't.
And that's so different. That's so different from how even just 5, 6, 7 years ago when we were in high school.
I was gonna say I think about that and like we were still at a point where you were getting your phones taken away for texting.
Oh yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
and that was like just around those like when when smartphones were getting really big and they were saying like, well, you can't have smartphones because there's like all these things you can like you're not supposed to do with them, and so like get them out. But now it's like kids have like elementary, middle, high school kids all have laptops when like we had to go to a computer lab.
Right.
It's
Fucking computer labs. Another
things
bullshit
are so
from the past.
fundamentally different.
They still have them.
I know they do.
That's not a thing of the past.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So say 10 years from now, all those fucking old rickety crotchety teachers die, and it's all Logan Hendrickses and Hendrixies, whatever the female version of that is, and they're all teachers. Can you see like a sort of like more like super laid back classroom where like it's not like you go like you are just playing music all the time? You know what I mean? And you just like throw on whatever you want. Whatever it is, just because, like, honestly, high school kids fucking swear all the time. We're not dumb, so I don't think there's a like. You should be able to play whatever the fuck you want in a classroom and just come hang out. Especially in a class like I would say specifically more like a science class, where like in high school I remember science class being 30 minutes of like this is what we're gonna do today, and then 60 minutes of doing it, and it's just fucking quiet and weird. But I think it'd be way fucking cooler if I had a teacher like you who was like, okay, so we're gonna like we're gonna do this project. It's gonna be super chill. I'm gonna throw on some Taiko and go.
Yeah,
That'd be fucking awesome. I would fucking love going to school if I had a teacher who was open-minded about listening to music and exposing me to music that I wouldn't think of to hear. That would make me instantly like going to class and want to go to class.
Cool. And that's the thing is, like, some of these kids constantly have one headphone in. And, like, if I'm talking, I'll rip it. I'll just go up and rip it out there and be like, I'm talking to you right now. You're not listening to music. If it's work time, like, when I was student teaching in Lake Mills, Wisconsin, like during work time, if I wasn't talking and you had time to work and you wanted me to throw on some today's hits, I'll throw on today's hits. I did try and throw on some other musical, different musical genres, but most of the kids weren't feeling it because I don't think they're ready to be open yet. Because kids in high school are still very mainstream. They that's their life, is they need to follow the mainstream. They're trying to follow whatever their friends are listening to.
Yeah, man, high school is weird like that. Everyone sort of like goes with this sort of like natural flow, but then in college, everyone is way more open-minded, and there's only one reason for that.
Right.
It's weed. Everyone starts smoking weed, and they're like, "Oh, what? All this dimension."
Music isn't just a line; it's 3D.
I mean,
think about all the things that you thought were important in high school, and then how little you thought they were important in college. I have a girlfriend for like 2 years when I was 14, and now I'm 16, and she dumped me, and now my life's over. And then it's like the worst thing ever. And then you go to college, and you're like, oh, well, I just fuck chicks every weekend or whatever. And it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not saying you should do that, and that it's necessarily a cool thing to do, but I'm saying it's just weird how much everything changes, and you don't give as much of a shit about fitting into like some fucking box, and you go outside of the box, and you just hang out and do whatever. And I think we should bring that into high school, man. Like, I wish when I was 16, we had somebody our age come into an auditorium, fill the entire. All right. Listen, it's high school. Life gets better. This is not the most important shit in the world. And then they dropped the mic and left. I wish someone would have done that for me. Because think of how much better your life would have been in high school if you would have had that sort of mentality. But you don't until you go to college and you see how big the world can really be.
Absolutely.
And this is getting away from music, but god damn it, people. Please keep that message.
Side rant.
To come back to it, the other thing too is that there's also been studies. There have been certain studies about music helping you focus, being able to help you focus, and
absolutely.
Having it in a classroom setting, more specifically having it during work time, not listening to trance music while you're talking.
Yeah. There's a time and a place. There's a time and a place.
There's a time and a place, but I think trying to maybe encouraging, say let's put on some music if that'll help you focus. Some people it doesn't work, but I think it'd be cool to encourage, like, hey, if you really want to get some shit done on this project or something like that, put on some headphones, jam to whatever will help you study.
Yeah, man. If I was a teacher, I would encourage it. Like, especially if in high school, a lot of classes just do bullshit work where you're doing busy work some of the days. Like, especially think back. Logan will fucking know, and I'm gonna point something out specifically, and most people will have no fucking clue. But people in our high school generally took a class with Mr. Schweitzer. Now, Logan knows who Mr. Schweitzer is.
Absolutely.
And that class was basically worksheets, and then there'd be a test sometimes. And that was it. There was not much teaching going on. And I wish I could have just been encouraged, like, okay, here's what this class is. You come, you listen for 10, 15 minutes, you do fucking dumbass worksheets the rest of the time. Please bring headphones. Whatever will help you focus and keep you from distracting yourself and other people, do it. Please do it. I encourage it.
Well, and that's the biggest thing is, like, I will suggest that to kids. If kids are talking too much, I'd be like, if you've got your headphones and you want to listen to some music and get this done so that you've got it done before tonight and you're ready to go tomorrow, that's fine. If you want to listen to music, that's cool.
Good.
As long as they're not some of those people, being in Chicago, I've seen this, or like being in cities in general, I've seen this a lot more frequently. Is like you have those people that are just like, I'm gonna sing like I'm on American Idol in the middle of the street.
That's awesome. That's
I,
only in a city. That's fucking
I,
awesome.
and you see people walking down the sidewalk and got their headphones in, and they are belting it out for the entire world to hear. Like they don't
I
care.
wish I
Like
could see that every day. Damn
it's,
it.
I mean, you saw. I think we even saw like a little bit on our college campus, like a little bit. There's some people that are just even if they weren't singing, like they're mouthing it.
I
Like
do that. I
as
will
they're
not
going past.
fucking. I will not even be ashamed of it, especially at the gym. I do that all the time. I fucking mouth the words of the shit I'm listening to, especially if I'm trying to like amp myself up. Come on, man.
Yeah, if you're into it, then just keep doing it. Like, who
Yeah.
cares?
Especially at a place like the gym where like I'm not there for other people. I'm there for myself. So like I'm
Right.
kind of like everything else is just a blur except for me in the mirror looking at myself, making sure that I'm
This
not
is,
gonna fuck up my
this
back while
is
I'm
Zach
doing the
Westcott's
squat.
gun zone.
Yeah, gun zone. But yeah, man. Like I think whatever gets you more into music, I think is a positive thing. Like I'm never gonna feel bad about doing that because, in all honesty, I don't give a shit what people think. I
But
don't
as
give a
long
shit
as
if
you're not
somebody
doing it in a
thinks.
classroom setting where you're disrupting other people.
Yeah, yes, as long as you're being respectful, man. It's about respect. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me.
That was a solid ending note.
Yeah, that was a good end to that topic. All right, Seth, what's up?
Well, speaking of expanding outside the box, I sent Zach a link via Facebook the other day. Um, since we do a little bit of music discovery here, we exchange tracks and stuff that to kind of open each other up to other things. There was a Rolling Stone article that came out, which was just an article about 5 genres that are currently starting to come out. They're still kind of underground, but they're like starting to kind of come out of the woodwork. Some are having like a little bit of mainstream appeal. Some of them are not quite ready or exactly what. But I just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit and maybe get our listeners exposed to some of it if they are or aren't already.
All right, why don't you take us through those 5 genres?
So this one, I feel like both both of you guys will probably be kind of familiar with it, since you guys do listen to various genres of EDM. Tropical house. Um,
Okay.
it's
I don't know what that
um,
is.
I mean they so
Am I
they
supposed to be listening to it here in Florida, or what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what
I
that
mean,
means.
the way they've described it is it's a version of EDM's, like basically if Jimmy Buffett traded in his guitars for turntables. I mean,
That is
I'm sure
very strange.
I guess you could probably think of it as like maybe some of like the lighter EDM stuff you might hear like resorts, like in
Okay,
Mexico.
did they give like examples? Because I can think of
Um,
one band that maybe fits that,
so they
and
said
I'm
like
curious
so they
if.
said something that's kind of similar is that new Justin Bieber song "What Do You Mean." It's kind of lighter EDM. It's not. It's
Oh,
I
so
don't
it's
know.
like pop EDM.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds more like the overall mood of the
Oh yeah,
instrument sounds
I get that.
sunnier.
Well, you think even if you have seen that music video, the colors of like just the colors in that music video are like pink, like a lighter purple, but then like mixed with sort of like some darker blue. Like it's kind of like nightlife in Miami or something. So
Um,
I definitely get that sort of like I mean, I don't know. Is Miami considered tropical? Maybe.
Yeah, I would consider.
um,
Yes. So yeah,
actually,
I'm
one of the artists they mentioned, I see that you actually listen to on Spotify is Mr. Probs.
Oh,
He's
really?
got a song called
Huh.
Waves.
Oh yeah, that song was huge in the summer, I think.
Yeah, so they're
Sometime this year, that song was a big deal,
yeah, so I
all
mean
over the radio.
that's one of the example, like that's like the main example song that they give. If that kind of
Okay.
starts to, you can kind of start to get a vibe for
Did they
what's.
mention Vacationer at all?
No, I mean
Huh.
they.
Okay.
So
That is like that. If you guys get a chance, listen to Vacationer at some point. That is what I think of as like sort of tropical house. It's actually an interesting band. Do you guys? Do you? You probably didn't listen to, but do you know the band The Starting Line?
No, I'm
start.
not there.
Really? Okay. They were like a pop punk band in like 2003 when all that shit was coming out.
Oh, oh, I can't think of. They did have like one. I remember like one big
Best of
song.
Me. The Best of Me.
Yep,
That was their
that's it.
like that was their be like pop punk
Yep.
heart, we're all teenagers and we are in love and shit song. So that dude apparently grew up, grew his hair out, and then started doing like tropical house. I guess I don't know. It's crazy. Like so he like sort of like he played bass in that first band, so he still plays bass, but now instead of the standard like two like lead rhythm guitar and drums, it's fucking drum pads and then synths and shit, and it's actually pretty fucking cool. I really recommend it. And so when you said tropical house, I'm like, what? But that's the closest thing I can think of. Go check that
Yeah,
shit
like
out.
maybe if you start looking up track. I mean, like I can even
Like
from what little I've listened to. I mean, I listened to the songs they mentioned. Like you can kind of start to get a vibe for like, okay, this is like.
Yeah. I'm just gonna type in tropical house in YouTube, and I think I'm just gonna get a bunch of hurricane videos. So I don't know. Oh no, the first one of the first things that comes up is best of tropical house music 2015. So maybe I'll listen to this later and see what happens.
Yeah, so that was
Interesting. Okay.
so. I mean, I think that's kind of like the prediction of EDM. So like where it's kind of headed, or at least,
I highly disagree with that, but I
or I
mean
mean,
it is an emerging genre.
or emerging. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
emerging genre is a better.
I mean, I think maybe pop music will go that way. I do not think at all EDM will go that
or
way.
that yeah, that's what I meant. I'm trying.
Yeah, that is what you
Bad.
fucking meant. Don't you dare.
Um,
Okay, what else? What else?
so there's another one called Chicago Bop.
That is a really good name for a genre of music.
Um, so they call it music originally made to be soundtrack loose-limbed, hard-angled, elbow-throwing dances. So where it's
What the
like all
fuck
the
does that? I don't know what that means.
where people are like dancing, but it's kind of like robotic, but it's not like
Okay, what artists? I need to listen to something because that is strange.
um. They said originally exploded around 2011, but steady attention from and sonic similarities to cultural sensations like Fetty Wap's Trap Queen and the Solentos'
What?
Watch Me Whip.
What? Those songs are so weirdly different. What the fuck? Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Um,
That's weird.
so it says essentially highly melodic hip hop that owes equally to auto-tuned melodies of Atlanta and YouTube traded repetition of the Chicago underground.
Okay.
Well, can I just say
So
something?
Yeah,
go for it.
please.
All I can imagine right now is like people in Chicago at like some sort of club dancing around like it's fucking rockabilly music, throwing their elbows out and like
Listening to Fetty Wap going like, yeah, baby. That's just Fetty
yeah,
Wap. That's all he
like it's
does.
big band music or something, just like yeah, snapping their fingers and shit. Like
Not
Okay,
quite that elbow
okay, so
throwing.
no,
It's
if we're gonna say that a bunch of white people down in Chicago are listening to Watch Me Whip and doing like 50s bop dances, that's fucking awesome, and I want to see that. I would love to see that shit, and they're like, "Now watch me whip," and they're like, "Just fucking." That'd be
doing the
awesome.
Carlton and shit.
Yes. Oh man, that's
Yeah.
funny. Okay, what else? Let's move through this. Moving on.
Yeah. So this one, I'm not sure how the hell you pronounce it. Gquam. I don't know. It's just GQOM.
What?
Um,
Okay. What?
It's basically lo-fi South African house music.
Okay,
That
what?
I'm super intrigued right
Jaquam? Jaquan?
Gaquam, I'm not sure how to pronounce.
Is there
I
a
looked.
apostrophe?
No, it's just a four-letter word.
now. How's it spelled?
Yeah, that's what I.
GQOM.
O-M. What the fuck? All right, I'm sorry. I have to bring this up. I have to bring up a mix and listen to some of it.
Um, so
No,
I
this is not emerging. No way. This is horrible.
so they have
Ugh.
a segment in each description is called Chances for Radio Takeover. And for this one it says the dark chopped up sound is likely too abrasive to ooze anywhere beyond underground for some time.
Thank fucking God. I hope it stays there.
But it's like basically it's kind of like monotone house music. Like it's kind of based around like one or like just like a note or two.
Well, see, I like music like that, but Jaquam is not the good stuff. There's much better stuff.
Yeah.
I have to hear like a
Right.
musical sample later on for me to.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely check out
don't.
this.
Just believe me when I say it's not great, and just save your time. Go listen to something else
All right.
that you'll enjoy.
I'll listen to Tropical House.
Yeah, Tropical House. I bet you that shit is tight.
So pop music, today's pop is what I'm going to say. I'll listen to today's pop.
Another one would be Black Gaze.
Dude, they put gays on the fucking. It's like cranberries at this point. It's in every fucking genre. What is the deal with gays? Like, oh, it's chill gaze. Oh, it's shoe gaze. Oh, it's trance gaze. Like, what the
Well,
fuck does that even
the original genre was shoegaze because shoegaze was like a form of psychedelic music where the reason they called it shoegaze was because
The
shoegaze was
gays I
originally
get. Gays I totally understand. The shoe part, what the fuck?
so shoegaze like is actually like the terms like since it's psychedelic music it means at least in the terms of psychedelic rock. Guitarists use a lot of different effects all at the same time to create this really psychedelic sound. So the guitarists were always gazing at their shoes to like keep activating pedals
Oh,
and
really?
keep
That's actually that's a really good reason to call it that.
yeah. So like shoegaze was I'm
I
pretty sure
like
is
that a
like
lot.
the
It's
original like genre to have gaze in it as far as I'm concerned. Um, so like it was to kind of be like this kind of psychedelic tripped out stuff. Black gaze
okay.
is an attempt to combine shoegaze with black metal.
Okay,
They're
I need to listen to this. Give me
so
an
the,
artist
Black
because
metal like Cannibal Corpse.
yeah,
not quite.
that's what I think. That's what I'm
It's
thinking of. So I need to get an artist from you right now.
the biggest one they have, like they say, like their epitome track is Death Heaven.
What's the band?
Death Heaven.
You said the track. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh no. The track is Dream House by Death Heaven.
Dreamhouse.
That sounds like a band on Madison's JJO.
Yeah, dude. Dude, what the fuck? Okay.
They had a big album last year called Sunbather, but like I've been kind of paying attention to them a little bit. I don't listen to them a lot by any means, or if at all.
Okay, I gotta be honest. If they would ditch those like weird screamo shit, it would actually be pretty good.
Yeah, it's basically just like really psychedelic metal for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I just listened to like 30 seconds of it, and it's actually like really good. It's very like post rock, but then
Yeah,
there's like
it's got
metal screaming, which I'm kind of like, no, please. Can you hold that? Why don't you
yeah,
just take that off of there, and we'll be just solid.
it's very brutal guitar music that's just kind of just really kind of a little tripped out, a lot of reverb and
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
like
down with
that.
that shit. But that whole
Um,
screaming thing, let's
yeah,
just
like you can't understand what the hell they're saying. I've tried listening for it
somebody
and I can't make anything out.
did.
don't
Um,
understand. I don't understand the appeal to it.
Okay, what's the
it's
last one? Last
the
one.
last one. Japanese footwork.
That sounds awesome. What is it?
Whoa, sorry, my stomach is growling here. Um, oh, what the hell was it? It's basically it says Japan is responding to the frenetic, giddy, polyrhythmic Chicago footwork movement. It says while the original genre relied heavy on skipping soul samples, um, this relies more on quote unquote pixelated blips and icy minimalism.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I mean, I like Japanese stuff.
I think what at this point they're referring to stuff like Shigoi sounds, Zach, where it's just like this.
Really? Because
It's
that
just
shit is the best.
it's like this repetitive, like repetitious, just like a minute and a half of this
Yes,
like
yes, yes,
like shrill sound, like where like this
yes,
shrill
yes,
like that.
yes,
It starts off super Japanese, and then it ends up in like this weird like minute and a half loop of like this 5 second sound.
yes, yes, yes.
um,
Should go. Okay, to anyone listening and really wants to get into some Japanese hip hop, look up Shigoi Sounds. He's put out 2 mixtapes. Go listen to them. They're fucking amazing. Please.
yeah. So
And that's it.
I was just wanted to discuss those genres and at least make other people aware of them, and maybe they can find an appreciation for it.
I hope that they don't find appreciation for some of those.
Good qualm.
To us though, to like Zach and I, that last one is nothing new to us.
Oh man, I've been on that kick. Well, like even before I was good friends with Logan, I was good friends with a certain man who goes by the name of Aaron Brown. He is the one who can fucking, if you like that kind of music, he will hook you up. He knows
Yep,
what's up, man.
he's got everything.
That kind of music is like super cool and something you don't get a. It takes having a friend who loves it to get into it. I don't think you could just stumble upon it at any like. How
I
would you?
I don't even know what route you would take to even get to that point.
Yeah. I like that even in the age of the internet where everything is everywhere, it's probably pretty hard to find good Japanese experimental hip hop unless you know somebody who knows it and knows where to look.
Right.
Like you could probably just Google it, but I don't know if you'd find Shigoi Sounds because that's a fucking gem.
Right. That and like like bands like Juge and whatever Juj, how we pronounce that.
Toki Monster.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
But to the listeners at home, it's a new genre to them.
It could very well could be. All right,
Cool.
so how long we've been going for? Looks like a little bit over an hour. Got through all the topics. What do you say we move on to the final part of the show?
I would second that.
Okay. All right, so this is the part of the show where we're going to shout out some tracks that we are digging at the moment. Logan will join in, and we will add these tracks to our Spotify playlist that we sort of have going right now. You can find it by searching either Seth Arp or Zachary Westcott on Spotify, and it's called Go Listen to This Shit. Really good. If you don't want to do all that nonsense, there'll be a link in the show description where you can get to it as well.
Yep.
So let's start. Seth, you can start.
Oh, I can start. Oh
You can
man.
start.
So I want to keep pushing this band, Nothing But Thieves. So I'm going to recommend their most recent track that they released called Last Orders. It's actually a really cool song about a bar fight.
Nice.
It's like a very, very relaxed song about a bar fight. But I really like it. I really like the instrumentals of it all, and the singers. I really like the singer for this band. I think they're gonna be coming in my rotation quite a bit.
Nice, very nice.
Wow.
All right, I'll go next. So I'm gonna give a shout out to one of the songs I was talking about earlier in the show. It is called "Sad Boy." It's by G-Eazy. It is a single that was just released this past Friday. It's super good. It's so if you G-Eazy is an interesting artist because you either like him or you don't. There isn't really a middle because he's kind of got. It's not like he has necessarily a nice sounding voice, but he's got very interesting rhymes, and his subject matter I think is really interesting, and the production on the stuff on like the music in his beats it's super good. And on this one in particular, I was saying before, it's kind of got this like sort of jazzy East Coast '90s, early 2000s hip hop sort of sound. It's super good, super good.
All right.
All right,
Cool.
And
Logan,
mine?
you're up.
That's
You're
me.
up.
Well, I've got a list here that I compiled, but I don't know how many are you trying to get through here?
3.
We'll do 3 tracks each.
Two, three.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start with a very Logan Hendricks pick, and it's gonna be reggae.
Do it.
If anybody out there knows Thievery Corporation,
Yes.
I have seen them 4 times in concert. Always a good time. It's always different. But for those of you who don't know who Thievery Corporation is, they're a world music group, and they comprised of I don't even know how many band members, but each is from like a different country. Everybody that they bring together for their songs is from a different country. You got people from Jamaica, Iran, India, and they just kind of meld it all together. And they do have some reggae tracks that I really do like, and one of them is from their album called Radio Retaliation, and the song is also called Radio Retaliation. And it is this awesome track about bringing down corporation. And that's not necessarily my thing, but it's just that's who they are. Bring down the man.
Okay.
And in modern terms. And it's just this instrumental where it's just this slow, deep bass line.
Nice.
And that's like 3 notes the whole time. You're like, but that's still so awesome.
That's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little tangent right here about Thievery Corporation. So my first exposure, I'm sure Logan that you probably told me about them, but like my first real like true listen to them is when I was in high school. I was in like one of the gym classes, and so like I'm pretty sure it was in the morning, and in our school the locker room for like all the sports is the same as the fucking locker room that we went into when we went to gym class. So I went in there, and there's like a stereo in there for like the football players that they would listen to shit, get amped up before the game, and I opened up the disc tray, and there was a like CD in there that someone had burned, and it was called I think it was called Indian Chill Out or something like that, or like Arabic Chill Out. And I stole it because I was in high school. So I took it home and I listened to it, and it just had all this like super crazy like sitar based music on it, and I would listen to it and I would do P90X yoga. It was fucking awesome. The first track on that was a Thievery Corporation song. I don't remember what it is, but I know that I remember looking up and being like, "Oh, okay, they're good."
Yeah, like I said, the one guy's from the bassist is from Iran. There's a guy from India, I'm pretty sure. And so yeah, a lot of it's kind of like this Arabic tone, like
Yes.
in sitar, kind of like those weird, I don't know, those weird drums where they like make like an echoey boom sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yeah,
so,
it's good.
Yep.
That's a good track. I added it to the playlist for you, so I'll try and as long as the songs are on Spotify, I'll add them to the playlist.
All right.
Sweet.
All right, Seth, back around to you.
All right, so I'm actually forgotten if we even mentioned this in the show, but Foo Fighters dropped a new EP last week or 2 weeks ago, surprise, and it's fucking great. The track I'm going to recommend is called Sean. It sounds like classic like first two albums Foo Fighters. Um, it's it's upbeat, it's fucking crazy, and it's Dave Grohl screaming a little bit. It's it's awesome.
Good.
So Sean by Foo Fighters.
All right, solid. It's very, very good. Nice, solid pick. Okay. Oh man, now I gotta fucking go, don't I? What should I? Okay, sorry, I gotta vamp a little bit. Logan, let's go to you. I need to look around.
All right.
We're gonna skip me. I'll come
My
back.
next one is, coming back to the topic of Japanese artists, especially in the realm of hip hop. Bugseed, he's straight out of Tokyo. He's got like this Nujabe feel, with the harder drum tracks. Um, and there's it lands in my tops. One of my tops is the song is called Secret Diplomacy. Whether or not you can find that,
What's it called? Secret Diplomacy?
Yep, Secret Diplomacy. Whether or not you can find that on Spotify, I don't know.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
What about can we hit on?
No, that can be the song. I'm just saying it
Okay.
won't be on loop. But yeah,
All
no,
right.
give it a shout out if that's the
But
song
yeah,
you want.
I'll give it a shout out. It's something different. This is this collaboration of strange sounds, but they all meld together in this weird way.
Nice. I like interesting music is awesome. Like stuff that you're not necessarily like drawn to because it's catchy, but just because it's different.
Yeah.
I think that's always good. Okay, I'm up. I am gonna go ahead. Where is the song? It is. Okay, it's kind of an older song. It's by Local Natives. Not sure if anyone here knows that band. They're sort of like a indie band. This is the name of the track is called Cards and Quarters. It's off their album Gorilla Manor. I actually just heard it today, and I'll give another little anecdote. I was supposed to listen to a specific album and talk about it today, but that didn't happen because when I went to listen to it, I listened to like 2 songs, and the style of music just kind of brought me back in time to when I used to listen to a bunch of like indie rock, and so I started a Pandora station based off of the song, and it brought me to this Local Native song, and I was just like, man, this is fucking good. It's just really good. It's like if you were into that whole sort of like indie uprising that happened in like 2010, like when like Mumford and Foster the People and bands kind of like that all sort of like came to the fucking top of the charts, and they were selling like crazy, and their Lollapalooza shows were insanely fucking big, even though when they played at concerts in cities they'd have like 50 people there. Like, it's that kind of band. They're good.
Okay.
All right.
Background Seth, last one.
Oh jeez. Oh man, my stomach. Shit. I don't know if people can hear my stomach growling, and
I just did. I very much heard it.
I just need to clarify that I'm not just farting on air or anything. So to stem off of that little genre discussion we were having, I'm going to recommend, even though this song has 305 million plays on Spotify, I'm going to throw it out anyways in case you haven't heard it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the song "Waves" by Mr. Probs.
Man, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. You picked like a pop song from the summer.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm the one recommending the EDM track now. It's the Robin Schultz radio edit. That's the one that's got 305 million plays. But apparently, if you want to know what tropical house is, that apparently is a pretty close definition of what it is.
I recommend the remix with T.I. and Chris Brown. Also very good.
All right. So that's me.
Okay, so my final track is a sort of drum and bass track, actually. So my EDM track recommendation is You will not find it on Spotify, so unfortunately I cannot add it. It's more of like a SoundCloud sort of track. And so everyone here knows what SoundCloud is, right? Obviously.
Yep.
SoundCloud is definitely a place where sort of more underground artists will put their stuff because they can't get it on Spotify or they don't release enough music to put it on Spotify. And SoundCloud is obviously a public service where anyone can have music up on it. I have stuff up that I used to do on SoundCloud. But anyway, name of the artist is Kicks in, just an N, Licks. Kicks and Licks. I don't know where they are out of, but they are a recently up sort of like up and coming drum and bass house sort of duo. They have a new track out. I think it came out just today actually. It's called Young, featuring an artist who goes by Adara. I have no idea who that is. It's some chick. She's got a nice voice. But yeah. I won't even say anything about it. It's just a really good drum and bass track. Go listen to it.
Cool DMB, man. I haven't listened to DMB in a long time.
Yeah, man. DMB is one of those interesting EDM genres where I have to be in a very specific mood for it because It's not like I don't want to listen to it like when I'm at a party. I don't want to listen to it like when I'm working out. It's weirdly enough I want to listen to it in a relaxed setting. I don't know why. That's when I listen to it. Like when I'm working. Like a big part of my job is sitting at a desk and working on a computer. So it's kind of like it's not even like a focus song. It's just kind of like, all right, I'm going to have my morning coffee, eat my Greek yogurt, and listen to some fucking drum and bass. It's weird, I know, but...
Hey, man, whatever works.
It is what it is.
Whenever I think of D&B, I think of just like this crazy Brit in like a dark apartment building, like hacking into fucking systems, government systems.
I think one of the dudes in Kicks and Licks has like crazy long dreads, so he's like fucking headbanging. Like I think here's when you listen to metal and you think of headbanging, you think of some dude who's wearing Jinko jeans, maybe a black T-shirt. He probably has some sort of cuff with spikes on it. He's got like long, stringy, greasy hair, and he's just fucking doing it in a circle. But then if you want the EDM version of that, it is a dude with long-ass dreads who is fucking doing the same motion, but he looks like a weird rave hipster.
Like, the image I got, remember Zoolander?
Yes, exactly that.
Yes,
exactly that. That is exactly what I'm talking about. The fucking DJ. Dude,
with the weird British accent and the crazy, like the weird teeth. Like
when they were breakdance fighting.
Yes.
You know that classic movie Zoolander.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Logan. Last track. What do you got?
I'm gonna end mine on a different note. As I mentioned earlier, it's country. It's John Anderson. I think the song came out in '88. He's from Florida. He's from Apopka, which is near Orlando. This song is called "Seminole Wind." It's just a very classic country song.
Seminole Wind.
Seminole Wind. Yep. It's about just the nature of Florida. That's all. It's just not necessarily the nature. Yes, the nature, but Florida for what it is. What it
I fucking love classic country, specifically because of the names of the songs. Like, okay, so Seminole Wind, great song, could be about anything. I'm looking at Spotify. His top 5 songs are Seminole Wind, number 1. Number 2, Straight Tequila Night. Yep. Number 3, Swingin'. And number 4, She Just Started Liking Cheatin' Songs. God, classic country's so good. I just love the titles. They're so funny. I'm
trying to think. There was like that song was covered like later in the '90s, wasn't it? Is it?
Yeah, by James Taylor.
Okay.
Which one?
I was thinking
Seminole Wind was.
Yeah.
I was thinking someone else, but maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, cool. Great show, guys.
Man. We had a great show. We had a great show for the audience today.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, time for the traditional Seth takes us out really awkwardly.
Yeah, that's our show today, guys. Catch you another time.
Why? Why?
I don't know. Maybe I'll
That
have
was
a
so I love you, man. It's not even funny.
That's every time I make that fucking Jobin joke because he sounds just like the dude trying to say goodbye to someone he just met, and he's like, I'll see you at another time. Oh, man. All right,
That's all we got for our show today.
podcast over. Podcast complete. Good night and good luck.